Listen. Before we begin, I want you to take a breath. Because what I'm about to share with you is not just a story about time, or inventions, or generations. It is a story about you, about your journey through change, about the things you lost, the things you gained, and the invisible thread that connects your past to your present. Today, we talk about something that every human, in every country, in every age, has felt: the conflict, the beauty, the tension between the old and the new. For as long as we've existed, we've lived between two worlds: the world that built us, and the world that is becoming. Some people say the old days were better. Some say the new world is smarter. But deep down, we all know the truth is not that simple. Because life isn't a straight line. It's a bridge made of memories, hopes, habits, fears, and evolution. Let me take you somewhere. Imagine a small room. Inside it, an old wooden radio sits on a shelf. Your grandparents used to listen to it every evening. It crackled, it buzzed, the sound wasn't perfect. But that radio carried the heartbeat of a family. News, songs, stories, echoed inside that room for decades. Now imagine next to it a sleek modern smartphone, a tiny device with millions of songs, videos, apps, the entire world inside it. Perfect sound, perfect speed, endless choices, old versus new, wood versus glass, static versus digital, slow versus instant. But here's the question: which one is better? If you say the new, you lose the soul of where you came from. If you say the old, you ignore the path that brought you forward. So the answer is not old or new. The answer is balance. Because the old gives us roots, and the new gives us wings. Think about your own life. The things you learned from your parents, the life your grandparents imagined, the values that shaped your childhood. Those are old things, but they are not useless. They are your foundations, your anchors, the hidden pillars that hold your world upright. Now think of the things around you today: technology, trends, tools, systems, opportunities your ancestors could never dream of. These are new things. Fast, shiny, powerful, evolving every single day. The mistake people make is thinking one must destroy the other. But history whispers a different truth. The old survives by becoming wiser. The new thrives by becoming smarter. And humanity grows when both walk side by side. Let me tell you a small story. A young man once argued with his father. He said, "Your old ways are slow. My new ways are better." The father smiled and said, "Maybe they are. But remember, every new thing you hold in your hand came from the old thing I held in mine." Silence. Because that is the truth. There is no new without old. There is no today without yesterday. There is no innovation without tradition. Every new invention stands on the shoulders of ancient knowledge. Think about language. The words you speak today are thousands of years old, but the way you express them has changed. Old roots, new branches. Think about travel. We moved from horses to cars to airplanes to rockets. Every step built on the step before it. Think about communication. Letters to telephones to the internet. Every upgrade remembers the last one. And think about yourself. The old you, the mistakes you made, the lessons you learned, the dreams you lost, the fears you overcame. They shaped the new you that stands here now. You are living proof that old and new are not enemies. They are partners, dancers in the same story, two halves of the same heartbeat. But here's something people don't talk about enough. The old is emotional. The new is exciting. The old is stable. The new is fast. The old makes you feel safe. The new makes you feel alive. And you need both. Because life is not just about comfort, and not just about change. It is about knowing when to hold on, and when to let go. The real wisdom is learning how to carry the past without becoming trapped in it, and learning how to embrace the future without losing yourself in it. When we forget the old, we lose our soul. When we fear the new, we lose our growth. So the real power is in the merge. Let me ask you something. Do you remember the smell of old books? The weight of them? The feeling of turning a page? The silence of reading under a dim warm light? Now compare it to reading on a screen. Smooth scrolling, bright colors, titles at your fingertips. Different worlds, different energies. But both carry knowledge. Both feed the mind. Both serve the same purpose in different ways. Old vs new is not a battle. It is a story of evolution. A story of continuity. A story of how humanity grows without forgetting where it started. And this story is happening right now, all around you. Look at cities, ancient streets next to futuristic skyscrapers. Look at music, classical instruments mixed with digital beats. Look at clothing, traditional fabrics redesigned with modern style. Look at medicine, ancient herbs combined with modern science. Look at people, traditions in the heart, technology in the hand. This is the world we live in. A world made of layers. A world where the past whispers and the future responds. But I want to share something deeper with you. Sometimes, new things break us. Sometimes, old things hold us back. Sometimes change feels heavy. Sometimes traditions feel strict. And that is when you must become the bridge. Not choosing one side, but becoming the space where both can exist. People who hold on to only the old never move. People who chase only the new never rest. But the ones who rise are the ones who learn from yesterday and walk into tomorrow with open eyes. So let me tell you what the world really needs today. Not just new inventions, not just old wisdom, but human beings who can carry both with balance. People who respect where they came from and still evolve into where they are meant to go. People who can sit with their elders and also speak the language of the future. People who can love the scent of old memories and also create new ones. People who can honor the past without being buried by it. People who can embrace the future without being consumed by it. Because the truth is, you don't have to choose old or new. You have to choose growth. You have to choose understanding. You have to choose harmony. And harmony happens when both sides are seen, heard, and valued. Let me leave you with this. Old things remind you who you are. New things show you who you can become. The past is your teacher. The future is your canvas. And you are the bridge. Walk it with grace. Walk it with gratitude. Walk it with courage. Because your journey is not made of old or new. It is made of both. But there is something even more powerful. Something hidden beneath the surface of old and new. Something most people never notice. It is the spirit behind each thing. Their intention. The meaning. The heartbeat that gives value to objects, habits, memories, and inventions. Because an old thing with love is more powerful than a new thing without soul. And a new thing with purpose can transform a life in ways old things never could. This is why your grandmother's worn-out blanket means more than a brand new expensive one. This is why your father's old advice feels heavier than any modern quote you find online. This is why an old village home with cracked walls, dusty windows, and faded paint can still feel warmer than the finest new apartment. It is not the object. It is the story inside it. Every old thing carries stories. Every new thing carries possibility. And you carry both inside you. But listen carefully. There comes a moment in every person's life when the old you must end, so the new you can begin. A moment when the past cannot travel with you anymore. A moment when the weight of old habits, old fears, old doubts must be set down. Because not everything old should stay, and not everything new should be welcomed. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Some old things are lessons. Some old things are chains. 6. Some new things are opportunities. Some new things are distractions. And only you can decide which is which. The world will tell you to rush toward every new thing. New trends, new devices, new ideas, new ways of living. But speed is not growth. Noise is not progress. Shiny is not meaningful. The world will also tell you to worship the past. Do it the old way. Follow the old rules. Stick to tradition. But safety is not purpose. Repetition is not evolution. Comfort is not destiny. So who should you listen to? Yourself. Your inner compass. Your quiet voice. The voice that knows which part of your past is sacred and which part must be released. The voice that knows which part of the future is yours and which part is just a distraction. And when you listen to that voice, something magical happens. You begin to create your own path. Not the old path, not the new path, but the true path. A path where old wisdom fuels new dreams. A path where new tools support old values. A path where your roots and your wings move together. And maybe, just maybe, this is the real purpose of life. Not to stay the same. Not to chase everything new. But to evolve with meaning. To grow with intention. To become better. Without forgetting who you were. Because life is a circle. What was old becomes new again. What is new becomes old tomorrow. And somewhere between those cycles, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments below.